I woke up with a throbbing headache that morning. It had been over 3 months since school resumed, yet I remained at home. Not because I was lazy or unwilling to learn, but because my father said there was no money. Each morning, I watched my friends march off to school in their neat uniforms, and each time I cried a little harder. The night before, I cried myself to sleep again. My mother, Mama Adjara, had just given birth to a baby girl, and the house was silent, except for our stomachs grumbling in hunger. That morning, she tried to breastfeed the baby with little energy. Her face was pale. There was no food. We had nothing left. I asked her quietly, Mama, what do we do? She didn't reply right away. Instead, she strapped the baby on her back, grabbed her faded handbag, and said, Shinedu, come with me. We were headed to the local market, a long walk under the scorching sun. Traditionally, in my community, it is considered a taboo to take a baby under 3 months to the market. But my mother didn't care. Hunger had broken every rule. A neighbor of Mama Kelechi called out, Mama Adura, are you carrying baby to the market like this? Don't you know it's a taboo? Mama smiled and simply said, I'm not going far. On our way, we saw my father playing drought with other idle men under a mango tree, laughing as if nothing was wrong. My heart sank. I pointed at him and asked, Mama, is that where we're supposed to get our food from? She looked at me straight in the eye and said words I will never forget. My son, if you don't like what your father is doing, don't ever do it to your wife. And then she held my hand tighter and we walked on. At the market, we met two women from a rural village. They were carrying bags of ogbonna seeds, oily, precious seeds used for making soup. Mama Adira's eyes lit up. She could speak their native dialect and immediately started bargaining. They agreed to sell 2 bags for 28,000 naira. They were exhausted from carrying the load and just wanted to sell quickly. But we had no money. Mama whispered to one of the women, Wait here with my son. I'll be back. She took one of the bags, borrowed the wheelbarrow, and disappeared into the crowd. My heart pounded as I waited. What was she planning? Would she return? What if they arrested her? 20 minutes later, she returned with money in her hands. She smiled and paid the women 28,000 naira in full and even gave them a small packet of salt as thanks. Take this, you will need it for cooking. And from now on, bring your goods directly to my house. Chinedu will show you the way. The women were shocked and grateful. No one has ever given us anything after buying from us, one said. Your mother is a rare woman. Back at home, the women dropped off the second bag. My siblings and I got to eat that day and ate well. Later that night, I asked her, Mama, where did you get the money from? She smiled and explained. She had removed a portion of the ogbono seeds and taken the rest to the far side of the market, the Igbo section, where traders were desperate for fresh ogbono. She sold it for 47,000 naira, making a profit of 19,000 naira in just a few minutes. She looked at me and said, God doesn't help those who sit and cry. You must move first, and then He will help you. The next market day, I woke up early, inspired and determined. I walked up to a man who sold kerosene in drums. I told him the truth. Sir, I've been out of school for 3 months. My father can't pay my school fees. But if you let me sell for you, I will return the money and keep the profit. He looked at me. What's your mother's name? Mama Adjora, I said. He smiled and said, I know her. Your son? Take it. Let's see what you can do. That day, I walked the market, carrying kerosene in a jerry can, filling containers for the traders, saving them the stress of going to the drum themselves. At the end of the day, I made 600 naira. It was small, but it felt like a million naira to me. From then, every week I returned to the market. No more begging, no more waiting. By the time school resumed, I had saved enough to pay for 2 terms, and more importantly, I had found dignity and hope. I learned a powerful lesson from my mother that day, that angels don't always have wings. Sometimes they wear wrappers and carry babies on their backs, but even angels don't move unless we move. And wherever you are, whatever you are facing, remember this. Take a step. Angels are waiting. Today, I look back and smile because of my mother's courage.